What's up, YouTube? My name is Chris Badgett, and in this video, we're going to be talking about the 8 things to do after college. Now, I did a lot of these things, but I kind of discovered them the hard way. So my hope is with this video that you're watching this and about to graduate or having just graduated, and hopefully one or all of these 8 things can have a radical impact on your life. So the first thing that I recommend doing is to travel, preferably internationally. And the reason to do that is to explore other cultures. And you really can't perceive your own culture until you can view it from the context of another. I have a background in anthropology, so cross-cultural experiences have always been important to me. But if you haven't thought about doing that, I highly recommend doing some world travel, even if you just travel around your own country and just get outside of your usual circles, that can have an impact. But if you can find the opportunity to travel the world, I would highly recommend doing that, even if you've already done it a little bit. If you can go do that with a friend or even by yourself for a while, like at least half a year, I would highly recommend that. Number two is to head into the wilderness. Similar to cross-cultural experiences, when you move outside of society and do some kind of wilderness exploration and remove all of the kind of built up human world that's around you and all that, you can learn a lot about yourself and what you're into, and also just connect with nature, which can have a profound impact on people. So you don't have to necessarily take 6 months to go hike the Appalachian Trail or head out into the Himalayas or South America or Antarctica or something like that. But whatever the wilderness is for you, I would highly encourage that you just prioritize spending some time there, because you're going to get a lot of insight by getting away from the internet, getting away from the people and the culture that you kind of exist inside of, and you go outside that bubble out into, quote, the real world. You're going to have some great experiences and great insights. Number three is to try on different careers. You may think that you know what you want to do when you grow up, or that you need to stay in the swim lane of your degree program. But the reality is, the business world and just the career world in general is changing fast. Complexity is increasing, things are automating. It's a complex world out there. So try on as many different careers as you can. There's some old school ways to do that that are coming back in fashion. One of them is to do an internship. As an example, I had a degree in anthropology and sustainable development, but I always loved video. So after college, when I was just kind of a climbing bum, living in the back of my car and doing different stuff, trying to figure things out, I volunteered and interned under a documentary filmmaker that I found. This is pre-internet or early days of the internet. I would drive an hour or two to go see him, and then he taught me how to do like research for historical documentaries, which is just something I was interested in. I just tried that on, and kind of explored my interest in video. But try different things. Even like if you got to make ends meet, get a job doing something you don't want to do, like washing dishes or waiting tables or whatever it is. That's really going to motivate you and give you some perspective on, okay, I don't want to do this, so maybe I should really figure out what I want to do. And if you're having a hard time getting a job with your degree, try some different things and have an open mind, because it's really interesting how parents and our parents' friends and things like that ask us, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you kind of get these ideas in your head that maybe you've been kind of lying to yourself all along, and perhaps you want to be something you don't even realize what you want to be, because you bought the story of what you thought you needed to be when you grow up. So have an open mind, explore different careers. The other thing I would encourage you to do is to develop frugal living skills. So, especially if you're by yourself, if you can live off of very little money, that's very empowering and freedom producing. Because what happens is some people after college, they get a job and they get kind of in this debt cycle and home mortgage and car payments and health insurance, all these things, and they kind of get the quote unquote golden handcuffs going on. If you can learn how to live off of like 20% of what your peers live off of, that's a skill. It's not always like fun, but it can produce freedom and give you optionality if you're doing something that's not working out and you need to go baseline and go to plan B or whatever. If you know how to live with less and you've minimized your debt burden, you have a lot more freedom there. The fifth thing that I would recommend to do after college is to practice starting businesses. And this could just be like a simple product business or a service business. It doesn't have to be like the next giant company or corporation. But entrepreneur skills are becoming increasingly high in demand. And as we move into this world of automation and ever shifting complexity in the job market, things are changing. And if you can have that ability to create something out of nothing and develop the base entrepreneur skills of visioning, how to create value, creating something out of nothing, selling that thing, providing support to customers, innovating on top. These are all very valuable skills. So start some kind of business, even if it's small and something you may see as not consequential. Like if you love dogs, start a dog walking business. If you like to write, try to come up with a paid ebook or write a self-published book on Amazon. Just start somewhere. Number 6 is to develop curiosity and lifelong learning habits. So our world is changing a lot, and the more curious you are, and the more you work on yourself and your business skills, your personal skills, your living skills, the more adaptable you're going to be. And I would just encourage you to develop a learning habit where you can kind of stumble on maybe a new career that you didn't know you might be interested in, or some kind of breakthrough in your personal life, or some kind of health idea that transforms your health and fitness. When you have curiosity and lifelong learning habits, those can really serve you as you move through life. So that could be as simple as a subscription to Audible and developing a reading habit, listening to nonfiction podcasts, going to the bookstore, exploring outside of the typical aisles that you're used to exploring, and just focus on learning and curiosity. It always amazes me the statistics I see out there of how little the average person reads. Number 7 is to prioritize human relationship exploration. So especially in this online world, it's easy to kind of go into social media and have all these connections, but not develop friendships or mentoring relationships or challenging yourself in terms of your partner or dating and that kind of thing. So prioritize human relationship exploration, not online. So I highly recommend you seek that out, and on all levels, not just like friends and peers, but also people who may be a further along than you in health or business or relationships that can kind of help you, and maybe you can help somebody who's not as far along as you are, and just explore that, and just know that if you do decide to commit to a partner, that's a really important decision. So you should explore and make sure that when that time does come, you have a lot of perspective and you're making the right choice. Number 8 is to build healthy habits. You can get away with a lot of stuff in your 20s, but it will catch up with you. So if you just focus on the fundamentals, that's sleep, nutrition, and movement, whatever that means to you, if you set those habits around getting a full night's sleep, and eating well and staying hydrated and moving, getting some kind of exercise, ideally a combination of endurance and strength, you're setting yourself up for a much more enjoyable life and to stack the odds in your favor in terms of avoiding any kind of sickness or health related issues. And also focus on your inner health and doing that whatever inner work is required to make sure you're not living a stressed out life, or if you are, experiencing depression or isolation or anything like that, that you work on that stuff and develop habits, that can help support a more healthier you. So that's it. Those are the 8 things to do after college. I'm just over 40 years old, and I've learned a lot of these things, and some of those things I learned the hard way by not incorporating them. So I hope you find this useful. Leave a comment down below, and I wish you all the best in your life after college.